Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's that time of year again. The Premier League is about to kick off for another very exciting season. We're under 2 weeks away now when Burnley take on Man City on the 12th of August at 8 o'clock. I'm very excited. I'm sure a lot of you guys all are as well. The period between the end of the Premier League season and then the start of the new one is always the most boring time in my life. So I'm very excited to get back into it, and today I'm going to go through my predictions. It's about time. All the transfers have been made. So yeah, it's about time for me to go with my predictions, and I would like to apologise for not uploading as regularly as I would have liked. But now the Premier League season is kicking off, I've got plenty of plans for what I'm going to upload, and I can really blow this channel up and we can have fun, the community, we can grow, and it'll be an exciting time. So anyway, let's get into the table right away. Right, I'm going to have the table popping up around here. It should appear in a minute. But yeah, so 20th place, I'm going to go Sheffield United. I'm really sorry, Sheffield United fans, but I feel like it's just the most simple option. They haven't strengthened. They've just lost their best player. I swear, he was meant to sign a new contract, and now he's gone to Marseille. So it's just not looking good for them at all. I hope they can prove a lot of people wrong, but I don't think their team anyway was Premier League quality, and now they've lost their best player. I think it's just looking even more bleak for them. So 20th place, I'm going to have to go Sheffield United. And I hope they don't do so bad that they make records for being that bad. Hopefully it won't go that badly, but I'm looking at that Derby record of 19 points, and I wouldn't even be surprised if they finished lower than that. But I'm hoping for them to prove a lot of people wrong, but I'm quite confident that they're going to come last in the league. And into my next relegation team, 19th place, I'm going to go Luton. And I really didn't want to put Luton here, but I've just got a feeling they're not good enough. They should be proud of what they've done anyway. Going up from like National League to Premier League is amazing in itself. I think one of their players if he plays in the Premier, they've played in all top 4 divisions of England with Luton, which is amazing. Their rise to the top has been quite inspirational for a lot of smaller teams. They can look at that and go, yeah, we can get there as well. But I don't think they're going to stay up. I hope they do, but I think 19th place for Luton's fair enough. But I don't think they'll be quite as bad as Sheffield United. I think it'll be close, 19th, 18th, and 17th. I don't think it'll be too clear going down, if you know what I mean. Like 19th will be close to 17th, and I reckon it could come down to the final day, but like it'll come down towards the end. I don't think they'll be relegated like 5 games beforehand. And then it's my last relegation team. I'm going to go Bournemouth. Only because they just got rid of their manager. I don't forgive them for that. I think the new manager they brought in is pretty decent, but that manager they brought in after the 9-0 loss to Liverpool literally saved them from relegation. They proved everyone wrong. I'm pretty sure everyone last year had them coming 20th or 19th, and they've proved everyone wrong. And I just don't understand why they would have got rid of that manager. But this year I think they will go down. I don't think their squad is Premier League quality, no matter how they stayed up last year. New manager, it could work out well for them, but I've got them going down, and those are my 3 relegation teams. Right, jumping into those that are just avoiding relegation. 17th place, I've got Everton. Sean Dyche will keep them up. Kept Burnley up for so many years. He kept Everton up last year when it looked pretty bleak, but he's a good manager. I think it'll be pretty close. I reckon 19th, 18th and 17th are going to be really close this year. But I back Sean Dyche to keep Everton up. And Everton, I think they've been in the Premier League for the entirety of its existence. So 17th, I'm going Everton. Then 16th, I'm going to go Forest. I think they finished either 15th or 16th last year. They'll just do exactly the same again. Steve Cooper's a great manager. I don't know who they've brought in, to be honest. If they lose Brendan Johnson, then they might struggle to stay up. But considering the fact they've managed to retain Brendan Johnson, I reckon they'll just do similar. They'll just do the same as last year. Steve Cooper's a good manager. I reckon he'll build on it in the future. And yeah, 16th place, I'm going to go Nottingham Forest. And then 15th, I'm going Fulham. I don't think they're going to do as well as they did last year. But I think they're losing Mitrovic. I don't actually know. I think they're bringing in Raul Jimenez. I think that's what I heard. Marcus Silva's a good manager, but overall, I don't think they'll do as well as they did last season. But 15th is still good. They stay up. Another season in the Prem. They used to be a yo-yo team, so another 3 seasons in the Prem in a row would be great. So yeah, I think Fulham come 15th. Right, and then finishing up the top 10, 14th I'm going to go Wolves. Just a standard season for them. They've lost Ruben Neves now, which is a big loss. I think if they'll also lose Raul Jimenez as well, but they'll just do standard. They've got a good team no matter what, so I think Wolves will come 14th. And then 13th, I'm going to go for the third promoted team. I'm going to go Burnley. I think Vincent Kompany's got them playing great football. Completely changed their identity since when they were under Sean Dyche. Completely changed their identity. The way they play is brilliant. It's beautiful to watch, and the way they won the championship last year was just incredible. I think I don't know whether they broke the record. I don't think they did, but they were pretty close, and no one really expected them to do that well, I don't think. But Vincent Kompany's he's a great manager, done a good job, and I reckon 13th is a great first season for Burnley, and I reckon that's where he'll take them. And then in 12th place, I've got Crystal Palace. I think they finish 12th every year or something like that. But yeah, they've got a good team. They could push for the top 10 place, maybe push for 7th. I've got Eze, Elise in the middle. But I think they've just lost Wilfried Zaha, so that's a big player to lose. But I think those young players coming in will start to do well. But I think 12th is a pretty admirable finish for them. And then finishing up the top 10, 11th, I'm going to go for West Ham. I think they'll do better than they did last season, but they've still got a Europa League. They're in the Europa League as well, so their goal may be to win that as well. You never know. They could win the Europa League, but after the Conference League win, they should be very proud of themselves, and I think 11th would be another decent season. And I think David Moyes will keep his job again. I don't know. If it starts to look bleak, they might get rid of David Moyes. But West Ham, yeah, 11th place, and that finishes up my top 10. Right, and then we go into the top 10. 10th place, I'm going Brentford. I think they'll just have a solid season, bang in the middle. They haven't got Ivan Toney till January, so Mbeumo's going to have to fill in. But I think he'll do well. I've got him in my fantasy team, so that shows how much confidence I have in him. Another 10th place finish for Thomas Frank. He's a good manager, got a great identity. He knows what he's doing. He's a great manager. The team all knows what they're doing, so they'll come 10th. Nothing bad about that, just maybe they could push forward if they had Toney for the beginning of the season, but 10th place is decent. And then 9th, this is where I've gone very controversial. I think Spurs are going to finish 9th. I'm not confident with them whatsoever. They could be losing their best player, Kane. I don't think Postecoglou, or however you say his name, I apologise. I don't think he's going to do very well. It's just Spurs really. I predicted them to come 3rd last year. I thought they would have a great year, but they bottled it completely. And then they're not even in Europe, I don't think. So that could help with the fact that they're not in Europe, but we'll see, of course, it's my opinion, but I just can't see Spurs doing well, and Kane could be going to Bayern. And the fact that Kane could stay another year and he doesn't want to be there really doesn't fill me with confidence for them. So I reckon a 9th place finish, and they'll avoid Europe and have a pretty shocking year. But yeah, they could even finish 10th. I wouldn't even be surprised. But 9th, I'm going to go Spurs. And then 8th, I'm going to go Brighton. They've got Europa League this year, so that's a whole different story when you get put into Europe. But considering the fact that I think Brighton have got one of the best scouting systems in the world, they just bring wonder kids out of nowhere. And I think no matter what, they're always going to have a good squad playing. So, I mean, the McAllister loss will be a big one, but I think they will come. And if they lose Caicedo as well, I think they will struggle as well. So I'm not going to have them finishing in Europa League. I'm going to have them finishing outside of Europe, but they could win the Europa League. I wouldn't put it past them. So I'm going to go Brighton 8th. If Brighton get 8th and win the Europa League, then that's an absolutely amazing season. But I'm going to put Brighton 8th, and I think they're going to avoid Europe, but I still don't think it'll be a bad season. Right, and this is where it gets interesting. We're going into the European places. So 7th place, I've gone for Newcastle. They won't do as well as they did last year. The fact that they're in the Champions League now, whole different story. It's a whole different level. I don't think they're going to be able to compete. They could get grouped, to be honest, in the Champions League. Their squad, although they have a lot of money, I don't think it's that strong. I don't think they have too much depth. I might be completely wrong. I might be forgetting how many players they've got. But they brought in Harvey Barnes, which is a good transfer. They brought in, what's his name? Tonali, great CDM. But I can't see Newcastle doing as well as they did last year, so I reckon they'll finish 7th, get a Conference League. But it depends. They could still buy players. They've got a lot of money. Their owners are very, very, very rich. So I could see Newcastle doing that well. But I'm going to have them 7th this year. And I still don't think that's bad, but 7th. And then we'll go to I'll do the 2 Europa League places. So 6th, I'm going Villa. They're going to have a great year. Unai Emery's such a good manager. So when he came in, I think since he's come in, they've got they had the third amount of points, like compared to all the other teams since he came in, which is just amazing. He's a great manager, and the fact they're in the Conference League now as well, I reckon he's winning it. Unai Emery knows how to win a European competition, especially he won it with Villarreal against United. When Oli was in charge, that was a very sad night. But he's a good manager, and the players they've signed I think are very good as well, like Diaby, Pau Torres, 2 great players. We were linked with Pau Torres, and Moussa Diaby is he's fast, he's a good player. He scored in pre-season as well, so who knows. I reckon Villa will do well. And then in 5th place, I'm gonna go Chelsea. I think they will challenge for top 4 this year. The fact they've got no Europe whatsoever is a big one, which is why I was originally going to put them in the Champions League spaces, but I didn't want to kick Man United or Arsenal out because I just think they're just better. I think they've got they're well suited to their managers right now. So I'm going to put Chelsea 5th, and it'll be a good year for Poch. And yeah, I mean, if they get top 4, that's amazing. Poch is a great manager. They had the squad. It's just that they had too many players or something like that, or they just didn't have the right manager. Poch will do well. He won that summer series competition, even though it's pre-season. He still won something, and he's got and Nkunku looks great. I think Pochettino is going to do well with Chelsea, but they're just going to miss out on top 4. Right, now we're going into the top 4. I think 4th place, this might be biased, but I'm putting 4th Arsenal. I think they've made some good signings. I think if they sign David Raya, they'll come 3rd. But if they don't sign David Raya, I think they'll come 4th. There's no difference between 3rd or 4th realistically. But at the end of the day, I don't think Ramsdale's a very good keeper, and I think that might be. But I think Ramsdale, if I saw Bart Goldbridge say this, I think Ramsdale's closer to De Gea than he is to Alisson, and Alisson's way better than De Gea. I think Ramsdale looks good because he makes great saves, which is what De Gea did, but his kicking's awful. And I feel like a Premier League keeper needs great kicking. So I'm going to put Arsenal 4th. Declan Rice was an amazing signing. Timber's going to be a good signing. They're going to do well. They also are in the Champions League now, so we'll wonder how that will go. They won't do it as well as they did last year. I've seen a lot of Arsenal fans thinking they're going to challenge for the league again. I don't think they will. But 4th place, still a decent finish. They'll be back-to-back Champions Leagues. And I wonder how they'll do in the Champions League. I reckon they can reach quarters or something like that. I think they've got the youngest team in the Prem, so they've got so much potential. But I hope they just don't get rid of Mikel Arteta if things don't look too good, because I think he's a great manager and he knows what he's doing. He just needs to win something. I know he won the FA Cup in his first time, but I feel like they need to win something else, because this whole process, if they don't win anything soon, then Arsenal get pretty impatient. So I'm going to go 4th place Arsenal. Then 3rd place, I'm going to go my beloved Man United. I think we'll have another good year. We've made some good signings. The only one I'm a bit about is Højlund. I think maybe a bit too much money, but he's going to do well. I reckon if he gets 15 goals, not in the Prem, in all competitions, that's a solid first season. I don't like how they're comparing him to Haaland. It's just so unnecessary. He's a good striker, but compare him to, I don't know, Nicholas Jackson that Chelsea have signed. Not the Ballon d'Or probably winner. It's just a silly comparison. It's just put stupid expectations on him when he's still young. So I hope he can do pretty well, and because we need a number 9, unfortunately Martial just can't stay fit. So I reckon we'll come 3rd. I reckon we'll get a similar points tally to last year, and I reckon give it a couple more signings, we can challenge for the league 100%. Right, and lastly, the top 2. Who do I think is going to win the league? 2nd place, I'm going for Liverpool. Yeah, City will win the league. Liverpool won't. Liverpool will be the biggest challengers, but City are just too good. Best manager, best squad, best team, going to finish 1st. Liverpool will certainly improve compared to last year. I like the signings that they've made. Szoboszlai, McAllister. I think they're going to get Lavia as well. and I think Darwin's going to do really well this year as well. Firmino's a big loss, but I reckon Darwin's going to do really well. Jota and Luis Diaz, Gakpo, they've got a great attack. They're all coming back from injury, so yeah, they're going to do well this year. They'll be the biggest challengers to City in my opinion. But City will win the league because they're just too good. City, they're just too good. I know they've let go of a fair few amount of players this year, but they're just too good. It's so sad to see as a Man United fan how good they've become. But if they get Gvardiol in, that's another centre-back. That's probably where they need something the most, even though the defence is already good. They've got De Bruyne and Haaland. That's all you need, realistically. The best two in the world, probably. So, yeah, they just want to treble. So, City will win the league, but I reckon Liverpool will be the closest to them. I reckon United won't be too far behind, but Liverpool and Man City will be the closest to, and then Man United just a little bit behind. But yeah, City will win the league. And that wraps up my predictions for this season. I hope you've enjoyed them. Let me know if you disagree with any of them. I'm gonna, obviously, like I said at the beginning, I'm gonna try and be a lot more consistent. I'm gonna be a lot more consistent this year. I've got loads of plans for the videos I'm gonna make, and I'm gonna buy some new things to improve the quality of the videos as well. So anyway, if you've enjoyed, make sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, share it to everyone you know, let other people see it as well, and hopefully I'll see you all next time. Thank you very much for watching.